Welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss on imagination. If there is some place where you can find the purest positive information, it is your imaginative world. Unfortunately, many people underestimate the power of this world and pollute it with their negativities. Once Einstein said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." He was considered an underperforming student in his childhood, but that did not stop him from imagining the world he liked. If you want to drop or increase your body temperature for an experiment, how you do it? Simply, by imagination. Imagine as if you were covered with ice or walking in a snowy place, your temperature drops. This one is a little harder practice. Imagine you are licking a half-cut lemon, your mouth will be filled with saliva immediately. You imagine the process, but your body took it as a real act and created enzymes and more saliva to start the digestion process. See, it is not that hard to fool the conscious mind. What causes a panic attack? According to USA Today magazine, biochemical reactions such as increased adrenaline levels in the body or any hormonal imbalance is one of the reasons for a panic attack. Besides, some suppressed emotions, childhood hardship, or unconscious conflicts from the past can be a reason for the issue. Does a panic attack have something to do with imagination? When something triggers our past experiences, a person's mind reacts as it is happening in the present. Our brain gets tricked and releases the related hormones, stress, or happy hormone. When the brain cannot differentiate reality from imagination, our entire system reacts to emotions. If painful experiences can give us panic attacks and anxiety, why don't blissful experiences take us in a more bliss state? Why does negativity have more strength than positivity to impact our mind and body? Strangely, we are more likely to be negative or more chances to believe in negativity. Similarly, after a few repetitions, when we start a harmful activity, it becomes a habit, but a good lifestyle barely becomes a habit. For example, not going gym twice can beat the habit of going gym every day. Science says it takes roughly 21 days to form a habit, but I woke up at 3:50 a.m. every day, without a break, for 10 months, still did not become a habit. I still have the same motivation and goal to wake up early. However, the habit was broken. In those 10 months of waking up early, I never felt like it became my habit because I had to force myself to wake up early, and I did because of my promise. I had some goals to achieve. On the contrary, if you sleep 10 hours a day for 10 days, it is more likely to become your habit. Are we designed to be lazy? Definitely not. Then, what makes it easier to accept something not good as our habit? This good and bad is the matter of the conscious mind, and making a habit is the task of the subconscious mind. Clearly, the subconscious mind does not know the difference between good and bad. On the other hand, making a habit depends on the vibration. We can force ourselves to vibrate in some energy level for a certain time, but eventually, we are more likely to fall back to our original state. When I was waking up early in the morning, at 3:50 a.m., I was forcing myself to vibrate in that energy level. If you research the lifestyle of CEOs of big companies and most successful people, you will see that they are waking up very early, around that time. I had similar goals as they had when I was waking up early that helped vibrate in their energy level. As soon as my goal was completed, I fell down to my original level. It is tough to continue it because my mind's situation makes it impossible to continue such a schedule. For example, when I was buying a house, I required a full-time job. After getting out of the army, I decided never to work for someone else unless it is required for my life objectives. I started working a random shift, day, evening, and night. Those 4 months of job destroyed a year-old habit of waking up early. If your goal requires such a tough schedule of bed and wake-up time, you will have a strong reason to wake up early, and eventually, you will be able to create a habit of waking up early. In my case, I was in a hostile environment, second deployment in the Middle East, where the temperature and other pressures prevailed. We used to have incoming every other week at a random time. Maybe because of such unpredictable factors, my mind could not set the schedule as a habit. The maximum hour, if I had slept any day in 2019, was 5 hours 50 minutes. Regardless of the weekends or celebrations. To become something as a habit, your brain should excrete happy hormones such as dopamine, oxytocin, endorphins, and serotonin as the reaction of your certain action. When you do something, you should feel good. The action can be pleasant or not, but your mind should release a pleasant related hormone. For example, poking someone with a needle is a painful act, but people addicted to tattoos love it. A drug addict skips the feeling of pain, does not care about it from a needle while injecting the drug. It is all about the chemicals. If you want to establish a habit, you will have to establish a relationship of your happiness with it. When the reality is too harsh, your imagination will work for this process. If you are working on a difficult project of your life, creating a new habit, or quitting the undesired one, use your power of imagination. Imagine that you already have your desired habit and visualize the happiness related to it. You need to feel it in depth and construct a strong bridge between your goal and the feeling so that you can order your brain to excrete the hormones when you want. This will motivate you constantly to reach out for success in your life. However, if you are just daydreaming, your one conscious mind will block the signal reaching the brain to excrete hormones sooner or later. Instead, it may release stress hormones. There is a difference between daydreaming and higher imagination. Daydreaming lacks directions, and no action would be taken to process it in the physical world. While daydreaming, a person knows he is wasting time. You need to imagine vivid with logic. It has to be a mental rehearsal rather than a random play of thoughts. Each and every character in thought should fulfill their role. Yes, imagination can be considered a play. Our brain is the auditorium, thoughts are the characters, the conscious mind is the director/editor, and other levels of minds are the board of directors to decide whether the play is convincing enough to pass into the materialistic world. They do not decide the worthiness of play based on good or evil, they check on the realistic aspect. Not all characters mean thoughts, get roles all the time, and some get denied, but the play goes on. We should be able to send the same character repeatedly if we want it to be a character of the play. Our senses are the door's way to collect those characters to send them to the auditorium. If we see or be around positivity, those positive characters will get the opportunity to take part in the play. If they get denied for the roles, we need to be persistent by being positive all the time. Be imaginative. For more videos, subscribe to Quantum Awareness.